almost going to throw it away because it's pretty bad shape. See, it's twisted and bent up pretty good. I don't know what the heck he did with it. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the forge, try to get everything straightened out. Reheat treat it. Hopefully save this thing. This is a 100% genuine real Usmc steak. One interesting thing about it is it has these plastic handle scales already drilled the rivets out. So that's got the canvas case. I don't know what era this thing is. Maybe Vietnam. Belt clip. Enough babbling about that. So go ahead and show you some more. I don't know what he did with it. So let's go ahead and get it in the forge, get it hot, get it straight, and we can save it. So I hope you stuck around and got past all that terrible buzzing and awful audio. But we're starting off on the Machete. I just got it annealing. I'm just heating it up to like a red heat, letting it cool down, trying to normalize the metal. Kind of just start from scratch, get rid of any kind of heat treat if it had any to start with. It doesn't look like it. So now I'm just using a small hammer, tapping out some small dents. I'm really not doing any forging, and I'm not heating it up very hot. I'm just trying to make the metal move, make it malleable. I don't want to put a bunch of dents in the blade and in the bevels. So I'm just kind of tapping out the dents, getting all the potato chip out of the edge. That thing was pretty waved up. I have no idea what he did to this thing. And it's going to be just a little bit more of that. I only took 2 heats, just getting the dents and all the waves out of the edge. I don't know what kind of a heat treat this thing could have had on it, but maybe at some point somebody stuck it in a fire or something, because people like to poke fires with stuff like this for some reason at the campground or whatever. And maybe the heat treat was destroyed, but yeah, this thing didn't look like it had any heat treat left in it. It was bent up pretty good, not only on the edge, but down the spine too. It was kind of potato chipped up pretty good. And these are just light taps in a very dark heat. Like I said, I'm not trying to forge anything. I'm just trying to get everything straight again. Just little tippity taps, almost like plenishing when you get near the end of doing any other kind of forging. It's cooler heats, lighter hits, and I'm just trying to get as much of the wave out of the edge, so I don't have to grind it off when I go to regrind the bevels back in. So now I'm just looking at it. It's pretty straight right now, but it's still wavy going down the spine. So now I'm just going to take it over to the vise. I'm clamping it between 2 pieces of steel. Right now I'm just clamping the bevels. And as I squeeze the vise, those 2 pieces of angle iron are going to kind of take the shape of the bevel. And now you're going to see me doing all kinds of hand gestures, and I'm going to be doing the wave and the robot and all other kinds of weird stuff about all the stuff I was talking about that sounded horrible because of the cheap eBay microphone. And now I'm back at the edge. This thing, it was curved and wavy all the way down from the handle to the tip. Now I'm doing more wave and robot. So I'm just kind of hitting it up in sections, getting it orange, clamping it, letting it cool down. So this thing has a nice bulldog stamped into it, and I wanted to get my mark next to the bulldog, so I put my mark in it. Now this is the super fast heat treat. challenge for heat treating this thing is so thin. If you hold it horizontally, the weight of the machete, just the weight of itself causes it to bow. So you got to keep it vertical, otherwise it'll bow on you. And my plan is to keep it vertical throughout the entire quench, and then I'm going to lay it on the anvil and stack weights on it to keep it from bowing as it cools down. So right now I got both burners on in the forge, and I'm just kind of running it through, trying to heat it up evenly. And I got my oil preheated, so the oil is already preheated and ready to go. And yes, I got red drawers on. So it's getting there, getting up to temperature. Looks a lot hotter on the video than it actually was. It was more of a red heat than a glowing orange. Now I'm in for the quench. I'm not shaking it around a lot. I don't want to bow it. Something that thin, a lot of people say shaking around all that, but I'm trying to get it out of the quench as straight as possible. I was going to lay it that way, then I noticed a slight bow in it, so I laid it opposite the bow, and now I'm going to put the weights on it. This is just a bunch of big pieces of metal I had laying around. And I wound up adding more, but, kind of lost that footage too. I had the remote control for the camera in my pocket, and it turned it to black and white, so I went ahead and just cut that off. But I'm just kind of looking at it right now. It actually came out straighter than I thought it was going to, especially on the edge. Something that long and that thin, it's pretty challenging to heat treat it. Alright, so still having audio issues. This is the Machete out of the temper oven. I tempered it for 3 hours at 450 degrees. Heat treat went really good. Everything is, for the most part, straight. There's no bows in it. There's a few ripples in the edge that I'm going to have to grind out. And after that, get on to probably putting a handle on it. But right now we're going to go ahead and get to the grinding.
All right, so before we wrap this video up, I just want to thank you guys for hanging in there with all the audio issues. Been trying out a new camera, and I kind of like the way the camera films. I like the picture, but the microphone in the camera was terrible. It just would not pick up anything I was saying. If I turned my head, you wouldn't hear me. I had to be basically just be staring straight into the camera and speaking at the top of my voice for it to record anything that you would be able to understand. So I tried a couple different mics. One mic, they were both terrible. I wound up sending them both back, so I don't even really want to talk about them. I wound up picking up the Usmc, and it was a pretty decent price, and I think it does fairly well. You know, I don't know what you think of the sound quality, but you know, I've tested it, and I can at least hear myself in the videos. So, I mean, that's a good thing. And the other thing I was fighting is this camera, the lighting issue. So this camera was picking up a lot of the white from the fluorescent tubes, and I had to figure out how to kind of get the settings right to kind of wash that out and get everything. You couldn't see anything. It just looked, everything was had a big glare on it, so you really couldn't see anything. So a lot of the footage that I had, you know, putting the handle scales together, it's pretty much gone. So, I mean, it was there. It just looked too bad to even. It was just so bad I couldn't even. I just couldn't even do anything to fix it. So I just stopped this video right after the temper, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what we wound up with. But the troubles didn't stop there. When I started putting the handle scales on, one of the handle scales cracked, and I come to realize instead of making another handle scale, because it probably wasn't going to work no matter what I did, the metal on the part of the tang that kind of went down, that went behind your pinky, that locked it in, it was just too thin in front of the lanyard hole. So there's really nothing I could do to save it. I guess in hindsight, I could have just left the hole there, just scrapped the lanyard idea and put a 1/4-inch pin in it with some epoxy, and it would have been fine. But I didn't. I went ahead and ground that off, and as soon as I did it, I instantly regretted it. I mean, the handle, it's a handle. You can hold it, you can swing it, but it just doesn't feel the same, and it just doesn't have that, you know, that Machete look. So really disappointed in that. Another thing I'm disappointed about is one of the holes kind of got wallered out when I drilled it. I don't know what the heck was wrong with me today, but one of the holes kind of got wallered out when I drilled it, and another hole which is like really loose. I really don't know what happened with these scales, but they kind of came off the rails, which is no big deal. I mean, normally if that happens, I'll just kind of peen the pins, and that kind of just opens up the brass, and it kind of fills in any voids, which it did. I mean, there is no voids. Everything is locked in tight, no gapping around the pins. But unfortunately, it did crack the scale in front of the front pin. So the part that I was worried about with this project, getting this blade through heat treat, actually wound up being the best part of the whole deal. And when it came time to put some scales on it and just wrap it up, I said, you know, throw some scales on, call this thing done, and get on to something else. That's kind of when the wheels came off. But that said, this is what we wound up with. And I did go ahead and paint the blade black. I think they're painted black originally, and I redid the bevels. The bevels, there wasn't much bevel there, to be honest with you. You probably had about 3/8 of a bevel along the flat of the blade, and then it got really small, like right up here around the belly. It was like there was hardly nothing there. There was hardly any bevel at all. So I did grind the bevels up a little bit higher, kind of give it you know, a better look. And I got my stamp in there next to the Bulldog. So you know, I'm really happy that I got the blade straightened out and fixed, got it through heat treat, and because this thing is like right at 1/8 of an inch, and it was already like I mean, it was already a functioning tool. So getting this thing through heat treat without having a lot of material that I could remove after the fact, that actually pleased me. So when it came to the part that you just don't even really think about, throwing some scales on, that's kind of where the wheels came off. So, but here it is. It is done, and we're going to go ahead and shut this video down. If you like the video for whatever weird reason, because this has been like a really horrible video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you appreciate my efforts in trying to get this content out to you, please subscribe. This will not be listed on my Etsy store. This will probably wind up in my shed, like I said. So, and I'll put it to use, and maybe even we'll make a short video seeing what it'll do. See what this Japanese steel will hold up to. So, yeah, maybe stay tuned for that. Since it didn't go quite like I was hoping it would, we'll go ahead and put this thing through some paces and punish it. So for not cooperating. But anyways, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one.